Yeah.
Thank you very much, Faith. Now, you see, I'm asking these questions, but just get ready because other people are going to be asking you lots of questions. But you've just said some things that there are different ways in which we can actually solve these problems and address these issues when it comes to mental health. But the topic that we're talking about today is mainly self-empowerment. From your experience, of course, you as a registered nurse in mental health in the UK, you would have even have your own personal experience about how to marry self-empowerment and with mental health, or how to use self-empowerment to actually promote mental health. I'd like you to share with us some experience, something probably personal or with patients or something like that, so that we can actually learn a lot on or about how to marry this self-empowerment and use it to promote mental health. We'd like to learn from your experience, Faith. I know Alex will he has shared a lot with us, but we want to hear from the lady tonight. Thank you very much, Faith.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
The man lady. Maybe the man and lady.
Uh, if I have to talk about empowerment, I've been now, I've worked for a long while. I can use a sample like when I was in healthcare assistance. We see a lot what happened to patients. There are kind of different kind of situation where patient bring to you as a healthcare or as nursing, as mental health nurse. But it's how you deal with the situation that matters a lot. When we talk about empowerment, how do we empower people? How do we empower people and using it to take treating people in mental health? The way we do this, if I use example of myself, I remember when I met a lady, and this lady, she was very ill. She don't like speaking. She don't like saying, and everybody goes to her room and discuss with her. She will look at you and don't drop her head back. It was happening every time. She will refuse her medication. She would not want to have a medication. She feels that she's been trapped in a place where she don't want to belong to. But with the help of the way we speak to this patient, making this patient to understand that you're not just here just because we want to trap you in here. You are here because of situation around you, which is not normal, which we want to give you support with, which we want to enlighten you with, that this is what is going on with you, because some of them don't want to understand that. So when we talk to the patient, using our example, using ourselves to talk to the patient, explaining to the patient, making them to understand that, you know what, we know that things are happening. This is not what you want, but we are here to support you. We are here to make you to understand that you being here is just for a while. But once you cooperate and do things that you need to do, you will be better and you will move on. Whereby when you are doing this, talking to them, letting them, enlighten them in the situation, making them understand that this is the situation you are, but you can get better if you cooperate, if you manage to do what you need to do. You are enlightening them and empowering them. You are giving them the support. You are trying to talk to them. You're trying to make them understand that this, whatever is happening to you now, it's not going to be forever. It's a situation that you can manage. Talking to them, giving them that, enlightening them, and you are supporting them, you are empowering them, telling them that the kind of situation they are is not just for, it's not going to be forever. And this lady, I'm just using a scenario for this. So this lady, everybody goes to her room, discuss with her. She dropped her head every time. She don't want to say anything. So when I started working there, and I was on holiday, when I came back, we were having this patient. And they told me, this lady, she doesn't like to take her medication. She's not engaging with anybody. She's not doing anything. She don't want to do anything. She's just self-isolating herself. Then I asked, what was the problem? How did she come here? I have to go back to our notes and start reading, looking what was the trigger. Why is that she don't want to speak to anyone? Why is she here? So we found out that this lady, she's here because she was having she has an issue. She has a mental health issue. At the same time, she was a nurse herself. She was a nurse herself. And then because she was a nurse herself, she has treated a lot of people. She knows this system. She couldn't believe it that she is going to be in that situation. That triggered her more, that she was more isolated from everyone. Those things like that makes people to be isolated because they feel like, oh, now I am in that situation where I was taking care of people. I'm in that situation. I'm supposed to be there doing this. Now, it was for her, she was sad. She was not having herself. So when we start empowering these people, this person, this patient, then I will start talking to her, letting her know that whatever you've done before, you've done well. You've done a lot. Now this is happening, but you can still do more better than this. The best way is for you to engage, is you to talk to staff, for you to get back to yourself. If you want to get back to yourself, you need to come out of that hole you have. You need to make people you need to understand that this is a situation. This situation can go by and drop down. It all depends how you walk to yourself. So we start talking to this patient every day. I was always talking to her, making her understand there's no medication that she don't know anything about because she's a nurse. Whatever medication you bring to her, she will tell you what's the name of this medication. You tell her, she will laugh. She knows the medication. She knows everything. So we begin to talk to her, explain to her, making her understand that she can get better. She can get better from this. So wherever we are trying to empowering her, giving her that support and explaining and making her to understand that the situation she is right now is not going to be forever if she work with us together. If she work with us together, she will get better. So we empower people in the sense that the way you talk to people, the way you bring yourself down to people, the way you bring yourself to the patient, even when it's not your patient, the way you talk to them and make them to understand that this situation is a situation that can go by if you work on yourself. Giving them that courage, making them understanding that they are human like you. There were situations, they were all this, we are all equal, we are all human, we are all the same. There's nothing different from us. Because you are mentally here does not mean you're no more human, does not mean you're no more that person you are. It's the same we are. It's just you need to get better, you need to understand the situation you are, and you need to know how to manage it. And then when we're talking to a patient or we're talking to people with mental issues, you try to use those ways that will encourage them, that will empower them, that will make them to know that they are not alone in this situation. I don't know if you're making sense what I'm saying.
Of course, it's making sense.
It does.
You define
It
that.
does.
To me, if I can say whether it makes sense or not, when we look at different community, yeah. If I can say in developing world community now, we have more motivational speakers than health professional when it comes to empowering community. So that's why sometimes when we in the UK talks about supporting people with mental health issue, it looks like, what is this saying? This doesn't work. It works because you are in the environment where you had to engage in communication. You have to promote value of individual. Like I said before, patient-centered care is very important because this patient-centered care, if I can analyze it, we look at what that person wants. And remember when Effie talks about the person history, the person used to be registered mental health nurse. So they have this kind of value as an individual that need to be make aware. Remind them, this is what you want. This thing is in their care plan. What they want, what time they want to sleep, what kind of medication they agree to have after speaking to a professional, what food they want, what kind of room, how do they want their room environment to be? So these things are being, I'll use the word when you look at Nigerian community, we say pamper people, but it's not a pamper, it's a process.
So sorry, and also, you know, when it comes to the empowerment with people, when you're talking about what they want, how did they want to be treated, how did they want their care plan to be?
Yeah,
is about, that's where I said, when you're talking to people, when you talk to them, when you see these patients, like I said, this woman does not talk. She was isolating herself because this situation, she was on it already. She knows this game. She knows how it is. But she needed someone to come to her and speak to her, encouraging her, giving her that support, giving her that time, not only to just go and give medication, not only to just go there and say, this is your medication, this is your food, or this is this, but empowering her that, you know what, whatever has happened, whatever has made this to be like this, you can get better. You can be treated. You can be supported in a different way, whether it's by medication, by making exercise, by communication, by being with friends, socializing. We are all there to support you. By talking therapy, we are all there to support you. This is whereby you are trying to empowering them. You are trying to give them that support, to make them know that they are not alone.